All right, boys. Tonight we are opening the Odin 2 Mini. Don't know what's gonna be inside the box. That's not how you open it. Clearly, this is already cut. 1, 2, 3. Ta-da! And it's light. It's really light. Oh, it's very light, and it's a case. There's nothing inside. Quiet. Screen protector. And the box. Inside a box. And the moment we've all been waiting for. Ooh, there's something else in there. Oh, it's just a cord. Whatever. Ta-da!
That's right, mobile gamers. The PS Vita of 2024 haseth arriveth. Well, not really, but this is the PS Vita of 2024. The Odin 2 Mini, that is. Now, this device really grabbed my attention when I saw that they were releasing it, to the point where I sat there on their website for the last half hour before it became available and kept refreshing, and literally 1 minute prior to the actual time that they said they was going to be released at, the website went live. It was like 9:29 p.m. Eastern time, and I was able to get it, check out, and pay for my order within the first 30 seconds, to the point where my order was paid for right at 9:30 p.m. Eastern time. Now, I bought the Pro version. My wife bought my wife BaByee, that is, the base model, which you see here. This is the base model. And I'm not gonna lie, I got a little upset because my Pro model that was ordered literally seconds after did not ship at all, and I saw these other orders being shipped, but I think it was based on location. The company wouldn't get back to me. They finally did get back to me, and then I just kind of said, screw it, I want to cancel my Pro model. And my wife was like, well, I'll give them another week to ship my base model, and here it is. The base model, if anybody wants to know, is more than good enough. It has 8 gigabytes of DDR5, or whatever, RAM, DDR5 RAM, only 128 gigabytes of internal storage. Slap a 512 gigabyte micro SD card in there, then you'll be laughing, because I'm playing this game right now off of the micro SD card. Technically, it's loaded onto the RAM of the device using, of course, the good old Android 28 application that we all know and love that disappeared due to the A-word people. That's all I'm going to say, just to keep it simple. To stop rambling on, this is the Odin 2 Mini. It does everything that the Odin 2 not Mini does. It just looks like a PS Vita. Literally, it's the thicknesses of PS Vita Fat model. This is the PS Vita Fat model. It's about the same thickness. It's a little bit longer. As you can see, it's a little bit longer in the sense that it has to make room for those nice big joysticks, which are really nice. I have some gripes with it, though. My major gripes are, it does feel a little bit different than the PS Vita, in the sense that because it has the extra triggers and stuff, I think I keep comparing it to the PS Vita in the sense of when I hold this. Now, I really like holding my PS Vita with this case on it and stuff, and the buttons and everything, they feel good up here. And I think they should have went with the dual joysticks like this. I don't normally say that. I like the opposite joystick effect like that, but I think they should have went with this instead of having the joystick up here and up here. I love joysticks like this on the actual Mini itself, but they should have went with this design. They copied everything else. Why not they copy the joystick layout? Sorry, people that love this design. I don't know. There was something about the way this feels in my hands and the joystick being up here that kind of has bugged me with all my gameplay testing. Now, I'm not going to go through and let you know what it does and what it doesn't do. We've already seen all that when it comes to this processor. It has the Qualcomm 8 Snapdragon Gen 2, and it's a really good processor. Now, there's a couple different variants of this processor. There's this one right here, and then there's the Gen 2X or whatever, which has the overclocked GPU or CPU. with 3.36 gigahertz, and I had that in my Red Magic 8S Pro phone, and I never saw a huge difference. Even overclocking the GPU or CPU on that device when I was testing out Switch emulation and all that kind of stuff, I never saw a huge difference of that. Now, of course, this is Tears of the Kingdom running this, and yeah, you do see those graphical issues, and that's not because of the device. That is because lack of development, and there you go, there's a nice square chunk out of it. I'm using the latest turnip driver, R21, and it still does that. It's not like it's gonna cause any issues. Major thing I'm gonna note is that turn off your FPS counter. I've noticed turning off the FPS counter and doing asynchronized shaders and all that kind of stuff really does help with loading games like this on Yuzu if that's what you want to do with it. Now, buying this for just Switch emulation, don't even think about it, because it's not going to give you the same effect as the Switch does. You know, I have so many people that I've watched say, should I buy this for Switch only? And no, like even the Odin 2, it does well. It does a really good freaking job at playing Switch, but it's not a Switch alternative. If you really want to Switch with an OLED screen and all that fancy jazz, go buy a hacked one, slap on all your games on it, or hack it yourself, and then you'll be on your way with all your games that you already own. Now, nothing else about this device has bugged me. It would be nice if they had a grip. I ended up putting these little pieces of grip tape that I bought. I will put a link in the description below for this. So what I did is I cut this with my slicer for my paper cutter, and then I used a little circular cutter tool to cut out the rounded edges to put that on the back so that it wouldn't slide around on the table. It wouldn't get any wear and tear on the back. I know they have these little divots in the back here for the aesthetics more than anything. Now, I was able to peel this apart with just my fingernail. This back plate, literally, look at this. You can peel that whole back plate off with just your fingernail. Now, if I didn't have this sticky adhesive on here, I could peel this whole thing off and you guys could see the inside. Now, that's not like a huge problem. Now I'm wrecking my fingernail. But the thing about that is these pieces right here, they're just sticked on with double-sided tape. And you could technically do something with this, maybe with a 3D printer, for example, because this is just double-sided tape right there. This is a little rubber piece, and there's like a little hole. Where did I see that? There's a hole right here on this side of it that goes all the way through the actual shell of the device. You could maybe like pop something in there to make a little bigger bump on the back or something like that to make it feel a little bit cleaner, I guess, and a little bit thicker in the hands. It's not that it's not a thick device already, but it's a device that feels a little bit small. I'm going to say that. It's not that small. I played for a couple hours the one night on it, playing some just basic retro games like Super Nintendo. I played some Wii. I played, what else did I play on here? I loaded up some 3DS because I was testing out 3DS as well, and then I went right to, obviously, Yuzu, played some Minecraft on it, and yeah, I was having a blast. Now, this is probably going to crash because I just left the application and went back into it. It's probably not going to load the way that I want it to, but again, this is the Odin 2 Mini. Nope, that didn't pop back in there. And what do I have to say about it? If you don't have an Odin 2 already, and you want something in this form factor, like a PS Vita, oh, it did jump right in, cool. That's what I mean, like this has gotten so good. Using Yuzu 278 for emulation is still the greatest, I think. I haven't tried all the other ones, Sudachi, Suyu, blah, 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 because the last version of Yuzu did its justice, and I'm not really one to just jump and say, hey, I'm gonna go grab my Odin 2 to play a whole bunch of Switch. I do that with my Switch because I have a Switch and I have a Switch Lite for that. That's modified so that I can dump all my games onto it and play it when I want to. Not that I do a lot, but yeah, I play a lot of mobile style games, and my Switch isn't really one of the consoles I navigate to a lot. I just like to play and test out emulation for this kind of stuff because I know the performance of this Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 processor is really good. AYN did a really good job with this thing. So if you want to go buy one, I would say go buy one for the aesthetics only, not because of the performance. Otherwise, just get an Odin 2 base model for $299 USD if they still have them available, because that device is a nice size device. It's pretty clunky, it's big, but it's better in the hands, in my opinion, if you have bigger hands. And this thing, yeah, it's pocketable. It's nice. Would I shove it in my pocket? No. It's got joysticks on it that pop off, just like that. And all of these devices that the Odin came out with, and the Retroid and all that kind of stuff, have these style of joystick caps that pop off like that. They're a little bit tight, but they do eventually come off. I've heard of people saying that they lost their joysticks. So, get one. Yes. I only got it because of the aesthetics. Because of all of these devices right here, the PSP was the very first device I ever emulated anything on. Way, way back in the day, when I was probably like 12 or 13 years old. So yes, over 20 years ago, the PSP, maybe not that long ago. Maybe it was like 18 years. I don't know. That all being said, I like the PSP lineup. I like the PS Vita. I finally owned one this year. And I like this thing, the Odin 2 Mini. I would buy another one if they did bezel-less screen. They changed the joysticks, put a Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 processor, and an 8,000 milliamp battery, if they could fit it in there, because there's not a lot of room in the back of this thing to do that. But the 5,000 milliamp battery, I've noticed that it drains the battery without it even running, and I think that's really about it. All that I need to cover for the Odin 2 Mini. Would you buy an Odin 2 Mini? Comment on the comment section below. If you liked this video, leave a like. If you didn't like this video, leave a like. Don't tempt fate. Go watch Mr. Stugiano. He'll save your state.